Hi, I'm Cassandra from Placer County Water Agency. Thank you for joining us for this Facebook Live event. July is Smart Irrigation Month, so we're going to teach you how to set and adjust your irrigation timer or controller, as well as do a visual walkthrough of your irrigation system. These two components are really important to make sure you have a happy and healthy landscape while using water efficiently. First, we're going to look at your irrigation controller. There are four main things to remember about setting up a schedule for your landscape. Controllers have different programs, and what the programs allow you to do is set a unique irrigation schedule for the different plants that you have in your landscape. This landscape has low water use plants that are watered by a drip system, and it has a lawn that's watered by a sprinkler system or overhead spray system. So we want to have a different type of schedule for each of these different types of plants, and that's where your programs come in. So program A, we're going to schedule your drip system. Program B, we're going to schedule the sprinkler system or the lawn. So the first thing before you get started is you want to check to make sure that the current date and time is set accurately. Otherwise, all your programming isn't going to mean much if it's not coming on when you think it's going to. So for this controller, we're going to turn to current time and day and just make sure that the date and time are accurate. If it's not, you'll just want to reset it as needed. With this controller, it's really simple. There's an advance and a back button, and then there's a plus and minus button to change the settings. When setting up a schedule, the first thing you're going to look at are your start times. So start times are just the time of day that you want your drip system to turn on. So on program A, we're doing the drip system for this yard. Drip systems typically only need to water one time a day, so we're going to have start time 1 for this yard is coming on at 4 a.m. We only want the drip system to come on once a day, but this controller has the capability to set up 4 different start times. So all I'm going to do is toggle or advance to the next station and make sure start time 2 is off, start time 3 is off, and start time 4 is off. Now that we have the start time for the drip system set up, we're going to put in the run times. On this controller, we're just going to turn the dial to run times. Run times are the number of minutes that you want your drip system to come on for. So this drip system needs 40 minutes of water each time it runs. So station 1 is the drip for the front yard, station 2 is the drip for the side yard, and station 3 is the drip for the backyard. So we just want to make sure each of those stations has the appropriate time on it. For this yard, 40 minutes. The lawn station is on station 4, but we want that to come on at a different schedule. We're going to put that on program B. So we want to make sure there's no minutes on station 4. The next component of setting up your controller are water days. Which days of the week do you want your drip system coming on? Most drip systems only need water a few days a week. So in order to set that, when we turn to water days, the days of the week are displayed on the controller. For this controller, a water droplet means that day is on. A water droplet with a slash through it means that day is off. This drip system is currently programmed to run too many days a week. So I'm going to turn off Sunday. So to turn off Sunday, I wait until the cursor or the water droplet is flashing above Sunday, and I'm going to push the minus button to turn Sunday off. Now you have a schedule, an appropriate schedule for the drip system. It's coming on at 4 a.m. Each stations 1, 2, and 3 are coming on for 40 minutes each, and it's coming on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now we need to schedule appropriately for the lawn. That's where we would change to program B. So program B is going to give us the ability to schedule all different water days with different start times. So I'm going to go back to start time. In order to change from program A to program B, I'm going to simply push this program button. Now, with a lawn, you typically want to irrigate your lawn around or before sunrise to avoid water loss due to wind and evaporation. Your lawn also has shallower roots, and so you want to water for shorter periods of time, more frequently, so more water days, and you also want to avoid runoff. Sprinklers tend to apply more water at a time than our soil can absorb. So in order to prevent runoff, we do something called a cycle and soak, and I'll show you how to set that up. So the first thing is we're going to have start time 1. This is currently set for 8:30 in the morning. We actually want this to come on closer to around sunrise, so we're going to have the first start time come on at 5 a.m. We now need to schedule a second start time an hour apart because we want to allow the water to absorb into the soil. So I'm going to toggle or advance to start time 2, and I'm going to have that come on at 6 a.m., an hour after the first start time. And I'm just going to make sure that start time 3 is off and start time 4 is off. Now we want to set the run times for the lawn. This landscape, the lawn is ran off of station 4. So I'm just going to make sure station 1, 2, and 3 have 0 minutes on them so that they're not being irrigated. And then I'm going to go to station 4. So this lawn gets water runoff in 6 minutes. I want to avoid having any runoff on this lawn because it's just a waste of water. So what I'm going to do is make sure that this lawn doesn't irrigate for more than 6 minutes at a time. So I'm going to reduce this run time down to 5 minutes. Then I'm going to put in the water days. Because it's a lawn, it needs to be watered more frequently, so we're going to have more days of the week that the irrigation system is going to turn on. This lawn gets mowed on Saturdays, so we want to make sure we also don't water on the same day that the lawn is being mowed. So I'm going to toggle over to Saturday and just push the minus button to turn Saturday off. Now we have an appropriate schedule for the drip system and for the lawn. And once you're done setting up your schedule, you always want to make sure to turn the dial back to the run position. Now that we know how to set your irrigation controller and make adjustments as needed, we're going to take a look at the sprinkler system and do some routine maintenance and some visual inspection of things that you can look for. So from the controller, I'm just going to go to the manual. I'm going to toggle over to station 4 because that's the station that the lawn is running off of, and I'm just going to run it. Now we'll go take a look at the sprinkler system. If you need help setting an irrigation schedule for your yard, you can log on to bewatersmart.info and use the Sacramento Region's Smart Irrigation Scheduler to get you started. Just keep in mind, every yard's unique and you will need to make adjustments. Okay, so here's our lawn. The sprinkler system is up and running. It looks pretty good. There are some things that you want to check in your irrigation system or in your sprinkler system. So the first thing we're going to look for is any spray or any sprinklers that are hitting hard surfaces or other plant material that it doesn't need to. So this sprinkler here, you can see it's hitting the sidewalk and it's also hitting this plant here. So all we're going to do is go down to the sprinkler that needs the adjustment. Sometimes you can just grab the top of the sprinkler riser and turn it, or you can use a tool like a channel lock here, and you simply turn to the left or right as needed to move the spray from the sprinkler off of the hardscape. The next thing we want to look for is any type of adjustment the sprinkler may need. This sprinkler isn't actually hitting all of the lawn section that it needs to. So I want to make an adjustment to make sure the section over there is getting the right amount of coverage from this sprinkler. So to do that, I'm going to simply grab the nozzle of the sprinkler and turn the top of the nozzle until the spray increases to the correct place. This is a wet job, so you might get a little wet, and it might take some practice turning the nozzles until you get them lined up just right. This nozzle is an adjustable nozzle, so it allows me to make those adjustments, opening and closing the sprinkler spray. Some nozzles are fixed nozzles, and so the only thing that you can do is just turn the sprinkler riser until you get it lined up as best as you can so that it's spraying on the lawn. Other things to look for in your sprinkler system are leaks or chipped, broken nozzles. As you can see over there, that nozzle is chipped or broken. The water is shooting straight up in the air. So we are going to want to replace this one. I'm just going to put a flag there so that once I'm done with the rest of my irrigation system inspection, I know where I need to make some repairs. Other things that you can look for in your sprinkler system are broken sprinklers. If a sprinkler is broken, where the sprinkler body is at, you'll see water bubbling up. Anytime you're making a repair to a sprinkler body or a nozzle, you always want to replace the existing equipment with the same brand new equipment. So what I do is once I'm done flagging all the different areas that need to be repaired, I'll go back and snap a picture of that equipment so that when I go to the irrigation store, I know that I'm replacing my nozzle with the exact type of nozzle that needs to be there. Now we're going to look at some things that you can do or visual inspections you can do in your drip system. Drip systems can be a little trickier. A lot of the time they're buried underground or they have a mulch covering them. So with the drip system, you're basically looking for water shooting up in the air, like here. This emitter was broken off. So I'm just going to put a flag there so that I can come back later and repair the broken line. So we're looking for broken lines like here. This line just came off. We're also looking for missing emitters, any cracks in the actual drip line itself, or if you see water pooling in areas where there's no plants, that's also an indication that there might be a leak in your drip system, and you'll want to investigate that further. If you're still not sure if you're overwatering or underwatering, another good tool that you can use is a moisture meter. The best way to use a moisture meter is before your next scheduled irrigation. So the night before your irrigation system's going to go off, you come out and you check your plants in several different locations. So for this plant, I would check at the root zone. I push the moisture meter in as far as it can go. And this moisture meter shows that it's dry. So we're not getting this plant enough water. If the moisture meter was in the wet zone, that means we're over watering this plant. So we could decrease watering. If it's dry, not enough water, we want to increase the watering for this plant. We really want to stay in the moist area. You can also use this in your lawn and check your lawn in several different locations. One tip I have for adjusting your lawn is you really want to adjust the minutes 1 or 2 minutes at a time, and then come back in a couple days, use your moisture meter again, and see if your adjustments actually worked or not. So irrigation season for this region is typically April through October. During your irrigation season, you will want to come out and do an inspection of your entire irrigation system once a month. It also allows you to make those changes to your irrigation controller in case you're overwatering or underwatering. PCWA offers rebates to help you make improvements to your irrigation system. So if you want to replace your high water using sprinkler nozzles with low water using rotary nozzles, or make repairs, improvements to your drip system, install a new drip system, or upgrade your irrigation controller to a weather-based irrigation controller, go to pcwa.net and research all of the rebates. Thank you.